to the Planning Commission of November 2nd, 2020. Welcome to Planning Commission members, staff, and guests. We ask for your patience during this virtual meeting. I would like to acknowledge multiple staff members behind the scenes with us today. Those include Lucinda Statler, Rachel Bailey, Jonathan Chambers, and Andrew Livingood.
During the meeting, you will see live images or still images of Planning Commission members and the administrator. However, images of the applicant and the public will not be visible. The public will be able to participate via 3 methods in addition to watching the meeting on YouTube. You can email, phone, or log into the web session. And when participating, please provide your name for documentation purposes. If you'd like to watch the meeting, you can stream through City TV accessed at www.youtube.com/user/ColumbiaSC government. If anyone would like to submit a letter or a statement via email, you can do so at cocboardmeeting@columbiasc.gov leading up to and/or during the meeting, as this account will be monitored during the meetings. Emails and letters sent during the meeting will be read into the record. Emails and letters that were received prior to the meeting have been forwarded to the Commission. The public may also participate via phone. You may call 855-925-2801. When prompted, please enter the meeting code 7985. And we'll do a roll call now. Mr. Cohn?
Here.
Mr. Harp?
Here.
Ms. Hartz?
Here.
Ms. James?
Here.
Dr. Mandel?
Here.
Mr. Stigemeyer?
Here.
Mr. Tupper?
Here.
And Mr. Frost?
Here.
We have a quorum.
So I'll give a brief review of the meeting format. Applicants with requests before the Planning Commission are allotted a presentation time of 10 minutes. This time should include, but is not limited to, an overview of the project, case history, and any pertinent meetings held regarding the request. This time also includes all persons presenting information on behalf of the applicant, such as attorneys, engineers, and architects. This time limit does not include any questions asked by the Planning Commission or staff regarding requests. Members of the general public are given the opportunity to address their concerns in intervals of 2 minutes. The administrator has a timer and will make presenters aware of when their time has expired. The Planning Commission reserves the right to amend these procedures on a case-by-case basis. The Planning Commission uses the consent agenda to approve non-controversial or routine matters by a single motion and vote. Examples of such items include approval of site plans, annexations, and street names. If a member of the Planning Commission or the general public wants to discuss an item on the consent, it is removed from the consent agenda and considered during the meeting. The Planning Commission then approves the remaining consent agenda items.
So now we'll go ahead and read through the items that are on the consent agenda. The first item is to approve the October 5th, 2020 meeting minutes. The second item is a comprehensive plan map amendment and a zoning map amendment for a pending annexation, which is a 0.47 acre portion of 680 Candy Lane. The third item, pardon me, is an interim comprehensive plan map amendment, an interim zoning map amendment for a pending annexation at 1215 Shop Road. The fourth item is a comprehensive plan map amendment for 1135 Performance Parkway. The fifth item is a zoning map amendment for a portion of the parcel at 1135 Performance Parkway. And the sixth item is a zoning text amendment to amend section 17-253 of the Columbia Code of Ordinances to amend the city center design development guidelines to delete section 3.5.4 site plan review. And that is all of the items that we have on the consent agenda. Let me just click through those real quick.
Thank you, Lucinda. Is there anyone from the Planning Commission that would like any item removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there anyone from the public that would like to have an item removed from the consent agenda? When participating, please provide your name for the minutes. You can communicate by sending an email to cocboardmeeting@columbiasc.gov or communicate via phone by pressing *2 to leave a voicemail or *3 to speak in person. We will pause to allow communication from the public. Again, the phone number is 855-925-2801 and the meeting code is 7985.
Hello, Mr. Chair. This is Andrew Livingood on public input. I do not have any callers on the line, nor do I have any comments that have been entered in.
Okay.
I haven't seen any emails come as either.
Okay. Having no callers on the line and no emails, can I get a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. I think the ayes have it.
Thank you.
The Planning Commission will now move forward with those items on the regular agenda. We will use the following outline for regular agenda items. The administrator will introduce the case. The applicant will have 10 minutes to make a presentation. Planning Commission may ask questions. The public will be allowed to participate via email, voicemail, voice, in person, or via the web. Planning Commission may ask additional questions of the applicant, and then we'll have action by the Planning Commission.
The first case on the regular agenda is 3700 Divine Street. And this is a request to make a minor amendment to a planned unit development residential. And I think Rachel Bailey is going to give a brief case history.
Yes, so within this PUD, it was fairly silent as to signage. So it reverts back to the ordinance, which would not normally permit a second freestanding sign along the same frontage on Divine Street. So the church is requesting a minor amendment to the PUD to write in that they can in fact have a second monument freestanding sign on that Divine Street frontage. And a mock-up of the sign, as well as the site plan that shows where the proposed new sign will be, kind of in front of their parking along Divine Street, will be made part of the PUD record if approved. So, and I think the applicant was going to get on here if you all had any specific questions. I'm not sure if they are on the line. I think they're on the line if you need to ask them anything.
This is Pat Kirk with Kirk Commercial Construction. I hope everyone's doing well. I am on though. If anybody did have a question.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from Planning Commission? Hearing no questions from Planning Commission. So we would encourage those who would like to comment from the public via email or the web to begin sending in letters and or emails. Again, that email address is cocboardmeeting@columbiasc.gov or on the web at publicinput.com/cocpc-november. For those wanting to leave a voicemail or speak live, call 855-925-2801, and when prompted, enter the meeting code 7985. You can then press *2 to leave a voicemail or press *3 to speak live. Again, please be sure computer audio is off to avoid feedback. We will now hear comments that have received in writing or any voicemails.
I have not seen any emails come through.
And likewise, at this time, I do not have any callers on the line.
Okay. Do we want to give it another little bit just to make sure?
Sure.
Maybe give another 10 or 15 seconds, see if any emails are slow to come through. Still no emails, no callers?
Nothing here.
Okay.
I have
Having not
nothing here.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Having not received any emails or calls, are there any follow-up questions from the Planning Commission before we take action? None? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the request to make a minor amendment to the PUD at 3700 Divine Street.
Got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? No. The ayes have it.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair, could I clarify who seconded that motion?
Ford.
Ford, thank you very much. The next case on the regular agenda is to repeal the current City of Columbia zoning map and adopt new City of Columbia zoning map to take effect on March 31st, 2021 in conjunction with the Unified Development Ordinance. And our Director Krista Hampton and our zoning administrator, Rachel Bailey, are both here. I think Rachel is going to present the maps. So I'm going to unscreen share so she can start sharing and walk through that with you guys.
All right, bear with me. I'll get this up on the screen. All right, can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. So we're excited to bring the maps before you. So, and of course, it's me as zoning administrator and Krista presenting. So Krista will go through kind of the why of why we're bringing these maps before you all and doing the remapping of the city.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes, we are very excited to finally be at this point with you. Some of you all have been with us along the way the entire time. We thank you all for your time for this. The why, these are the main themes of why we rewrote the zoning ordinance and then are now implementing the map that corresponds with those new districts. It's to create a user-friendly code so that not just staff can understand what's going on, but everybody from an architect to a homeowner can understand what the zoning and regulations are for their property. We want to implement Plan Columbia that is now also the Columbia Compass, which is the land use plan for the City of Columbia. And it gives us several directives within that plan. It's also to modernize regulations. The current code dates from the 1970s. A lot has changed since then. And we are largely a built out city. So these ordinance provisions strongly encourage and support infill and redevelopment because that is mostly what we see within the City of Columbia. finally, we want to support and encourage sustainable and green development practices through this ordinance.
All right, so we have residential zoning districts. In this ordinance, we have a great deal more mixed use districts. So we have the mixed use activity center and corridor zoning districts. We have institutional zoning districts, as well as industrial zoning districts. With our residential, we tried to keep the single family and the residential mixed districts similar to our current RS and RG districts. We tried not to make too many changes to those residential districts. And then we get into the mixed use activity center and corridor zoning districts, which allows for a good progression of commercial districts. It's not just your neighborhood commercial and your general commercial. There are now more options. We have the neighborhood activity center, community activity, regional and downtown, as well as our office and institutional, and then the MU1 and MU2, which are our base mixed use districts. We also want to give you all a rundown on just how to navigate the zoning map viewer. The first step in navigation is to go to weplantogether.org/Columbia Review, and you'll click View the Draft Zoning Map. You can also view the adopted text there if you would like to learn more about what is allowed in your district in terms of uses and other regulations. So once at the site, you can either pan to explore the city or type a specific address in the upper left search bar. And you'll see on the right here, you have a layers list, which I'll go over in a moment. So you can have your streets on, that'll just show you if it's a city street or DOT. And then you have the zoning district viewer. So you can look at the proposed zoning district as well as the current zoning district. So you can see what it is now and what it will be once these maps take effect, and kind of compare and contrast if you need to. Once you have those layers on, you can search on the specific parcel. So you'll just click a specific parcel and it will bring up the proposed zoning district. So you'll, for example, this one is our offices downtown, Washington Street. It gives you the downtown activity center corridor. You can click to leave a comment, or if you also have the current zoning district tab selected on the layer list, you'll see an arrow in that box and you can click that and see the proposed and the current in the same information viewer. You can click on the district to be taken to an information sheet on that new district as shown on this next page. It'll bring up a pop-up that gives you the purpose, the use standards, as well as intensity and dimensional standards for that new proposed district. So in another option too, there is a comment viewer. We'll definitely read any of your comments, but just know that the maps now that are going through Planning Commission and Council are finalized. So, and Krista will run us through the proposed new zoning maps. So we have those in PDF.
Thank you, Rachel. So we do have the online viewer, but for the record, we wanted to scroll through in PDF, which was attached to the Planning Commission agenda, the various areas of the city. As we're going through these, we won't stay all that long. This is the Harbison area, but if planning commissioners have questions about certain parts of the city, we can always come back to those. But these are published online, and where you don't see a color, regrettably, that is outside of our jurisdiction. And so you can see the outside areas where we do still have some donut holes. This is our central business district in the downtown. Moving on down further south. into our industrial area out of 77. Continuing up Shop. The blue is Fort Jackson. So it now has its own zoning classification, which is a institutional Fort Jackson. This is out Leesburg Road. Moving in towards the bottom of Fort Jackson. Now moving up into North Columbia. Out I-20. Coming up along Percival Road and into Wood Creek Farms. So, yeah, pardon, go ahead, Rachel.
Go ahead.
Okay. Overlay districts, all of our existing historic districts, design districts, community character districts stay the same. So City Center, Inna Vista, 5 Points, North Columbia, all of our historic districts. And so these maps also were attached for people to identify where those districts are located. Our mapping folks were taxed with picking out colors for all of these different districts. They did a great job. So as we proceed through these, as we come up towards the end, we do have 2 new districts that were recommended as part of the planning process, the West Gervais planning process. It is a height and setback overlay district that's near the West Gervais Street Historic Commercial District. It regulates height stepping back up to 80 feet. And then there's a setback along UG Street to give a little bit more relief from the heavy arterial that is there. And finally, we have the airport height overlay district actually mapped as opposed to it being just text, which was very difficult for people to interpret. All right, Rachel, you want to go over next steps?
Sure. So we're bringing the maps before Planning Commission tonight for a recommendation. So, and then our goal is to go to City Council for zoning public hearing in January with an effective date for the text and the maps of March 31st, 2021.
I will add to that too. We did have a virtual public meeting in September. And then we held numerous opportunities for one-on-one meetings with the public. We had several of those. They were very effective at getting information out. But we still stand ready to answer any questions up until the zoning public hearing in January.
We can take some questions now.
Great. I don't have a question, but I do just have a comment. I would just like to personally thank you all, staff, for jumping in on this. I know it was a lot of hard work. It's been a little bit of time involved, so just wanted to say thank you and appreciate everything y'all done to get this project closer to the end here.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or any other comments or anything from the Planning Commission?
No, I'll just echo your gratitude, which I think, I mean, this has been a long process and it's really been an amazing piece of work by a lot of different people. So kudos.
Absolutely. Yeah, good job. So we'll see if there's any public comment or questions. We encourage those who would like to comment via email or the web to begin sending in letters and emails. Email to cocboardmeeting@columbiasc.gov or on the web at publicinput.com/COCPC-November. For those wanting to leave a voicemail or speak live, you can call 855-925-2801. And when prompted, please enter the meeting code 7985. Then press *2 to leave a voicemail or *3 to speak live. Please be sure your computer audio is off to avoid any feedback.
I do have an email that has just come through. This is from Derek Bruner, the University architect. And he says, the University of South Carolina expresses its appreciation for the work of city planning and zoning staff to produce this new zoning map and the Unified Development Ordinance. And we offer gratitude for staff's efforts to coordinate various details of the map with the university.
Great. Good stuff. Have there been any
And
phone
Mr.
calls?
Frost,
No? Yeah,
I do not have any callers on the line.
okay. No more emails, Lucinda?
I haven't seen any more emails.
All right. Hearing no additional public comment, are there any final questions from Planning Commission? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to recommend and adopt the new City of Columbia zoning text map and text amendment map to take effect on March 31st, 2021 in conjunction with the Unified Development Ordinance.
Got a motion, can I get a second?
I'll make a second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, please say no. Sounds like the ayes have it.
Thank you.
Do we have any other business?
Well, unfortunately, we do have one little bit, and that is that because you guys recommended approval, which is great news, I guess this is Dale's last planning commission meeting. And I know everybody's gonna be really sad to see him go, but I
Yeah,
know a couple of people have a few words they'd like to say.
yeah, Dale, personally, hey, it's been a pleasure serving with you. What is this, like year 7 for you?
Yeah.
Well, I know you've put in a lot of hard work and effort, especially on this last little bit of action that we took, and appreciate all your hard work. Just want to tell you thank you, and hope you find something bigger and better to go do now and fill your time with something else here. But thanks very much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if I may to chime in, Dale, yes, we are so appreciative of everything you've done over these years. And you have been the model member. There has not been a public meeting that we have had that Dale did not attend. No matter what, small neighborhood meeting, you name it, he was there. He was always present and supportive. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Krista. It's been an honor to serve with staff. It's been an honor to serve with fellow commissioners and serve the city. It's been a wonderful joy, and I look forward to watching on the other side of the dais the commissioners continue the good work of the city.
Thank you, Dale.
Take care, and thank you for your
Thank
service.
you, Dale.
Appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Well, having no other business, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Got a motion?
Second.
Can I get a second? Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.